Hey guys, it is the Kyoster here for the Movie Zone. Little short episode now tonight. I'm going to give you my 8 picks of the greatest Michael Keaton movies. Michael Keaton, one of the greatest actors I've ever come across. I first heard tell of him when he was when I started watching the Batman movies, Batman and Batman Returns, two of my favorites of his. But then I started discovering Beetlejuice, started discovering lots of his other stuff. But I'm giving you now my 8 picks. If I was to pick 8 films that I would look at as Michael Keaton's best work, I'm going to give you them here now. So, the first one comes to mind is The Paper. The Paper features Robert Duvall, Randy Quaid, Marissa Tomei in an early role, Glenn Close, and of course Michael Keaton. And it's about a newspaper that Michael Keaton is one of the head writers on the newspaper, and Robert Duvall is like the top guy in the newspaper, and Keaton and Close are fighting over who gets the top stories, stuff like that. Really good film. I first discovered it about a couple of years ago. Didn't discover it too long ago, actually, this film. It's a 1994 movie, so it's really worth a watch. That is The Paper. The next movie I'm going to look at here is another very good movie, Jackie Brown, Quentin Tarantino classic from back in 1996. Features, of course, Michael Keaton, and he's actually his character in this is in a crossover with another film, Out of Sight, which also features, of course, George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez, I believe. But Tarantino's Jackie Brown, based on the Elmore Leonard novel, features, of course, Samuel L. Jackson, Pam Grier, Robert Forster, also Bridget Fonda, Robert De Niro. What a great cast. And it was the one that followed, it was the film that followed Pulp Fiction. So it was a very, as far as Keaton, or as far as Tarantino stuff goes. So it was, had a lot of kind of pressure on it to do good when you think about it. But yeah, Michael Keaton, awesome in his role in that as one of the cops. Very, very good film. Worth a watch as well if you haven't seen Jackie Brown, by the way. It's an awesome film, but I'd say you have seen that one. Also, on my list, Desperate Measures, of course, features Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia. What a great film this one is. It's actually, it's kind of a horrible subject. It's about a convict. Keaton plays a psycho kind of convict guy who has the only blood type that can help a kid who's dying of cancer. So it's a pretty grim storyline, but Keaton is a crazy dude in the film. He's on death row in it, and he's a bit of a sicko. But Andy Garcia plays the father of the kid very well in this. It's a very good film. Desperate Measures. It's definitely worth a watch. Another one now, Pacific Heights. Michael Keaton, along with Melanie Griffith and Matthew Modine, about this couple that move into an apartment in San Francisco. They buy an apartment and then they decide to rent it out to someone, to rent one of the rooms out to someone, or one of the apartments in the house. They make their house into apartments and rent it out to people. So they decide to give it to Carter Hayes, who's actually this guy who's using the alias of Carter Hayes. And this is Michael Keaton, of course. It's another kind of a psycho role, kind of a weird dude, but he's actually rare. He plays it so well. Keaton always plays real funny characters and real kind of weird psycho characters very, very well. So, great actor. Pacific Heights is definitely one of my favorites. It's a 1990 film. Definitely worth a watch. That last one I was talking about, Desperate Measures, is actually a 1998 movie. So that's one of his more recent hits movies. Great stuff indeed. Michael Keaton, awesome in Pacific Heights. Looking, the next one now is, of course, my favorite, Batman Returns. It's probably the top, even better than Batman in my opinion. It's got the Tim Burton style to it. Tim Burton directs, of course. It features Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken in an amazing role, and of course also features Michael Keaton as Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's actually probably, in my opinion, because of the gothicness of it and everything, it is my favorite Batman movie without a doubt. Batman Returns, definitely up there. Probably one of the best of the Batman movies, in my opinion. or sorry, probably the best Batman movie, probably one of the best Michael Keaton movies. It is probably number one in my Michael Keaton movies out of these 8. It's probably my favorite. Next one is Batman, 1989 classic, featuring Jack Nicholson as the Joker, of course, featuring Michael Keaton as Batman and Bruce Wayne, features Kim Basinger as the love interest, Vicky Vale, also features other great stalwarts of the Batman 80s and 90s Batman era, of course, being Pat Hingle and Michael Cuff, respectively, as, of course, Commissioner Gordon and Alfred. Batman definitely pulled out all the stops, probably one of the biggest grossing movies of the 80s. I think it was the top film of 1989. It was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Batman were neck and neck. It's the top movie of 89. Definitely one of my top 3, I'd say, definitely of the Keaton movies. And Tim Burton pulls it off very well, but I think he done better with Batman Returns, but that's just my opinion. Next, we're looking at The Dream Team. Now, this is a lesser known, well, it's well known, but it's a lesser kind of, it's more of a gem if you look at it. It features Michael Keaton, also features Christopher Lloyd, also features Peter Boyle, and it's a great, great movie. It's about Michael Keaton's this guy in a crazy people home, like one of these low key psychiatric hospitals, and they get to go out to a ball game in New York for the day, and Christopher Lloyd is under the impression that he's actually their doctor, but he's not their doctor. He's one of the crazy dudes as well, but he's got this kind of fixation that he's a doctor or some kind of a professor or something. And Michael Keaton is as crazy as Michael Keaton can be in this one, of course. But definitely worth looking at. Peter Boyle in an earlier role than his Everybody Loves Raymond days, of course. And then there's a fourth one in it. It's Force, what's his name? A guy Forced or First. So he's the fourth actor in this one. Definitely The Dream Team. It's a funny film. It's like a good comedy, you know, and it's worth watching. Also, Beetlejuice is the next one I'm looking at here. Beetlejuice, awesome movie. It's another Michael Keaton and Tim Burton collaboration. Features, of course, Winona Ryder. Of course, the sequel was out recently, a couple of years ago, or a year ago maybe. I think it's actually 2 at this stage. Winona Ryder. So many great stars in Beetlejuice back in the day. Michael Keaton plays Beetlejuice unbelievably great actor. He never fails. This is one of his earlier big roles. He's in movies since the early 80s, but that was his first, I think, blockbuster was Beetlejuice, and he's hard to beat. He's great as the character. Gina Davis also features in that movie. Alec Baldwin. Great stuff indeed. Beetlejuice. And then that's all the ones I have listed. That's the 8 Michael Keaton movies that I've got listed that I would choose as my favorite 8 movies. And I'd probably, top 3, I'd probably put maybe, let me think. Number 3 would be Batman, I'd say. Number 2 would be probably Pacific Heights. And number 1 would be Batman Returns. Thank you for joining me on this look at Michael Keaton's best movies, in my opinion. Bye for now from the Movie Zone. Has been the Coaster.